In this session, we'll look to see how to put a house on the market using a property from the Belong website as a template and logging into REZI from the start of the process. So on the screen you have the sign-in screen to DesRes. Enter your email and your password and sign in. This will bring you to the home page for your particular branch, and it will populate with a variety of preset headings which will come up in a moment. The purpose of today is to show you which items of text and imagery you need and where to place them in REZI. So the dashboard is popping up now, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with adding a new property. So for the purposes of this, we go to the plus button here, and you can see here we've got client, company, property. I'm going to start with property and enter the client details. And we can look up an existing client. So we're going to look up, for the purposes of this, we're going to look up me. So I'm James White. My details are already in the system, and I live at 43 Scottgate Road. We then select the property, and for the purposes of this, I'm going to look here, use same address. These other items here can all be filled in as we go along, not necessarily important for this stage of the process. So use same address, save and select this property. Okay, so that property now is saved, and I then want to go into here again and view property. So 43 Scottgate Road, it brings up a new page where I can then put either a sales valuation or a lettings valuation. For the purposes of this, we are going to do a sales valuation because the house that we're uploading is one for sale. The average price of properties in this street or in this area, as we can see here, is 422,500. Those are the properties that Belong has dealt with in this immediate vicinity. So we'll go with that as an asking price just for the purposes of demonstration. Set the asking price or suggested marketing price in there. You're able to put a price text qualifier in if you wish, such things as offers over, fixed price. We'll go with offers over. Agency type, sole agency mostly. The branch is Honley because that's where we're based. The valuing negotiator is me, James, and the fee we're going to set as a preset minimum fee for the purposes of this demonstration. We can add notes for the valuation in here if we wish, but for the purposes of going forward, we'll just set the valuation at 422,500. And then you'll see here on the valuation screen, we've then got a button here that says Instruct for Sale. In instructing the property for sale, it takes us through to another screen where we can start to build the property details. So on here, we can set the agency period. I tend to set this as none. You may have a different view on that. The fee has already been selected previously. The property tenure, whether it's freehold or leasehold. The branch is already set. The negotiator who's going to be dealing with it, I'll set that as myself. And there's a little button to put on market. Click that button and then confirm the instruction on the bottom right hand side. And then we can make a start on putting the details onto REZI. This is the overview page, which basically shows you photographs that we've taken previously of this house. This is our house at home. Applicant matches, we'll come to that later. Appointments and offers are viewings and such things. Descriptions and features. This is where we can start to build the property details. So under descriptions and features, you have two headings, property features and property descriptions. Down here, we've set it as detached house, modern, freehold, put the council tax band in, the local authority, numbers of bedrooms, numbers of bathrooms, conservatories. We'll add 1 to that, so add 1 and then press save. Always remember to press the save button on the right hand side. Numbers of gardens, parking spaces, garages 2, so we'll change that to 2. Here we can put information regarding ground rents, leasehold and such things. And below we have the ability to enter the details of the energy performance certificate. It's always important to select England and Wales and then put the values in from the EPC that you have. Once you've entered these values, you can edit them if you wish, save and generate EPC, and it will then create the energy performance certificate for inclusion in the property details. So that's the basic information, and then following on from that we want to enter the property descriptions. So we click this button here. Under property descriptions we use 4 of these categories. One is a features list where we can enter in this bar here a variety of text and such things, and then below it will populate the bullet points for us. No more than 10 bullet points, as it says here, only the first 10 will appear. To reorder them, if you want to put them in a different order, you just grab them and move them up and down. I've described our own house as an exceptional detached house. The wife will be pleased. Underneath this, summary description, so a short description as to why you think somebody should immediately be drawn to this property. 2 or 3 sentences is enough in there. And then below, the main marketing text. What we tend to do here is to focus on the attributes of the property, the area, the local amenities, proximity to connectivity such as motorway, railway stations, and then a brief description about the property including any salient points. For example, it might have a luxury kitchen with integrated appliances, underfloor heating, a nice bathroom with a spa shower. But at Belong, what we don't do is we don't do a 3,000 word brochure with room by room descriptions with heavy descriptions per room and room measurements. This is because I think this is old-fashioned. However, if you did want to create a brochure like that at client's request, you can go into room descriptions below and put all of the different rooms in and the measurements and such things, but we choose not to. The very last thing that we add is additional text 1. Here is a short box with just directions. So when doing directions, I tend to do them from the nearest village. So from the village centre, proceed up to the house, and it's on the left hand side, for example. To edit these boxes, we just press the little pencil at the side and then save and close. It's always a good idea when editing any of these boxes to save and close as you go, just in case you have a timeout or something crashes, because it doesn't auto save along the way. So that's where you enter your descriptions. Now moving on to the photos, videos section here. The first box under this heading is property images and photography. We simply upload the details by clicking this button here, and it will bring up the file manager on your computer, from where you can select the images to upload. And if we just upload this one here, for example, I'll show you how to do that. So highlight an image. You can highlight multiple images by pressing Shift and then pressing the image and then press open. Those images now will load up at the bottom of the details. Actually quite impressed with how our house looks on these photographs. But there you can see the images are now populating at the bottom of the page. And if they're not in the order that you would like them to be, you can simply grab the image and move it. So for example, we'll swap these images of the conservatory around. Very simple process. We tend to have the main image as the one at the top. You'll see here is a nice blue space. If you want